as we see the crash crew attending to Terry Pitt out of South Australia, we also see a view of the forlorn Matt and Renee Easton V88, driven by David Merker with a flat right rear tyre there. So that explains why he was suddenly going backwards a little. Of course, he muscled on as long as he could until the tyre went flat. Alright, here we go. On a restart, Brett Milburn will lead them around to that little orange car in the middle of the track. I know everyone knows about it, but for those of you that don't, you can't pass the car in front till you pass that restart cone. Look at the top wing there on Brendan Guerin, the SA96 out of Broken Hill. That's a result of actually clipping Terry Pitt as Terry Pitt was rolling in that last incident. Copped a bit of damage. Can't be a little bit spooky at high speed, I would suggest. We'll have to wait and see how he handles that one. Meantime, 25 laps still to run, which is pretty much a full feature race distance in normal circumstances. Milburn, Charge, Mark Caruso out of Adelaide. Oh, Brendan Guerin, upside down. Got a little bit of a hip and shoulder as well, I think. Tagged that turn for a wall again. And over he goes. So, as they say, cautions breed cautions. In this case, it breeds reds. Stoppages for Brendan Guerin, straight on the back of fellow South Aussie Terry Pitt. It's very unfortunate for the broken car of Brendan Guerin out of Broken Hill. They do a lot of travelling just to go racing. They love it. His father, Daryl Guerin, started the family down at Part3 racing at Broken Hill Speedway. There's a neat little speedway there at Broken Hill. And then Daryl stepped out to put young Brendan in. Brendan's been doing a fine job in this car for the last, gosh, I don't know how many years, but a lot of miles just to go racing. You want to race a sprint car, Broken Hill is not the place to do it. There just isn't anyone else to race against. You got to do a lot of travelling down to Adelaide, down to Murray Bridge, or across to Victoria, as he has done on many, many occasions. And Brett Milburn brings it back to the restart around the cone one more time. And Daniel Evans got a little squirrely there on the restart, as he's trying to make a move now on Tim Van Ginnigan. And Van Ginnigan is not one to be pushed aside easily. He's a real elbows-up racer. TVG out of Warrnambool, driving for Terry Anderson Motorsport. And have a look at this battle. Oh, Solomon and Evans almost contact. Evans was a little squirrely. Solomon got a great run out of two, round the outside. Almost some contact there as we look down track at the awesome new lighting here at Simpson Speedway. They've done a ton of work in last off-season and even right up to this event. They got some money, some grants to improve the lighting. They've done a lot of track work. They've raised the bottom end a little, which I think just spoils the track a little bit. So it's not as deep down there into 2 and 3 as it used to be, but a very progressive track doing a lot of work to present some great racing, including the Australian Formula 500 title, as we see Phil Locke and Brett Smith. Brett Smith, we saw him tag the turn 4 wall before. Now he's getting involved with Phil Locke. Have you heard of Australian Highline magazine? It's Australia's only totally free online digital speedway racing magazine. It's full of big, beautiful action and artistic images from some of Australia's best motorsport photographers. It's got national and international events, profiles, tech articles, history, comment, and the occasional controversial article, all penned by some of the sport's leading journalists and columnists, and it's all free. Australian Highline magazine. Have a read today. We're still 21 laps on the board, so still plenty of room to go, plenty of laps to go. Milburn, Charge, Caruso, Hunter, Van Ginnigan, Chris Solomon, and then Daniel Evans. Nice restart by the Jet. Brett the Jet Milburn out front. Is this going to be another Australian title for the Jet, driving for Phil and Sharon Seymour, relative newcomers to the sport of sprint car racing? First got involved with Travis Rylat, the American, the Texan. I'll tell you what, Rylat, of course, came out very famous, or infamous if you like, for the Crocker Rocker incident at the Grand National Sprint Car Classic a few years back. And young Travis was a national winner in the 360 National Championship in the US. He started coming out and driving for Phil and Sharon. last couple of years he hasn't been able to make it out, but Phil and Sharon have wanted to continue on, so they put a car out there for various people from time to time. Terry Rankin drives the car with a 410 engine in it. When they come back to the 360 division, Brett Milburn puts his 360 in it and does a fine job, and they've had some great success, including winning the Diggers Cup last year or the year before. And the Arbonne entry is looking very solid right now. The V8 29. Charles Hunter now back up there into third place, and Evans seems to have been able to gap Chris Solomon in the Wildworks Tuckett Motorsport entry. Hunter driving for his brother Heath out of nearby Cobden, is where the family is based. And granddaddy Charles Walter Hunter III, having a very successful and quite long career, starting out in SDAV hot rods back in the day. Wow, can't think how far back. Then he went to limited sprint cars, then to open sprint cars, had some success on very little budget. And now Charles has taken over the last few seasons with his brother Heath owning the machine now. In fact, they've got two cars here tonight, one for Braden Parr and one for Charles Walter Hunter the fourth. As we focus in on Chris Solomon for a moment. The 83 machine, a little bit lonely now for Chris. He had a great dice with Daniel Evans before, but that seems to have been broken off. So race leader is back into some traffic again. Looking a little further back, there's another battle. Paul Solomon in the 7 and Brenton Farrer in the 27. These two guys do not like each other too much at all. Very fierce rivalry. I'm not too sure why. Paul Solomon really doesn't, there's not a mean bone in Paul Solomon, but for some reason, been a bit of some on-track issues, and there's a very fierce rivalry between those two guys. They're fighting it out on track right now as a race leader is coming up into some more lap traffic. Ooh, wide run there for Jordan Charge, almost out into the boonies. Got very wide, the lap's running down. Getting down to serious time right now, I've got to say, folks, as they go around Ryan Davis from nearby Winchelsea and focus in on the inaugural Australian 360 champion, Tony Moore, driving for Sean Farrell in the NT26 machine. Milburn, he knows he's got a good car under him, but he'd be a little nervous with the lap traffic in front of him, especially when they start having their own little battle. Pick up on a few cars still running very wide. 5 to run. It'll be 4 to run this time around for our race leader. Oh, up the inside. He got a little sideways up the inside of Tony Moore there. Not Tony Moore's doing. He's a very fair and clean racer, is Tony. Probably opened the door a little for Jordan Charge to close up here with just a couple of laps to run. This is really coming down to a very exciting finish. Solomon, now he's got Farrer on his tail.
On the last lap, the leaders were definitely in pretty heavy traffic, so I could see that Brett was behind a car and he was sort of being a bit hesitant from the laps before, and I managed to get a run out of coming out of turn 2, so I sort of had a bit of an attitude of win it a bit underneath him as hard as I could for the final turn. Unfortunately for me, he had definitely a good run coming out still.
Win it or bin it was exactly right, and how close was that at the end? Jordan Charge, he just didn't have the momentum coming off turn number 4 to actually do something, but gee, he gave it everything. Brett Milburn becoming the latest Australian 360 Sprint Car champion, courtesy of Southwest Conveyancing, to add to his Australian title in the Australian Wingless division. First time national title for Phil and Sharon Seymour, and a great result for Jordan Charge. Be happy but disappointed a little at the same time. And Charles Hunter there for third, Mark Caruso, Daniel Evans, good job, Van Ginnigan, Farrer, Solomon, Chris, that is Paul Solomon, Tony Moore, rounding out the top 10.